course, for many months of the pandemic, millions of Canadians worked from home, so millions of Canadians weren't commuting. It takes a lot of cars off the road. It means there are fewer accidents, and car insurance companies have actually been doing quite well through all this when it comes to the bottom line. So, what should their obligations be to us, the driver? Let's bring in Dinesh Kotak, founder of Kotak Personal Injury Law. This is some work that you did, so walk me through some of the numbers. What did you find in terms of how much the insurance industry has been benefiting from fewer of us being on the road during all this?
Right, it sort of was predictable, and the thought was last year certainly that the pandemic would in fact be a windfall for insurance companies. Well, now they've in fact reported data on their own to the regulatory authority, and we've discovered that in fact they've made a profit of 27.6% of premiums billed. This is unheard of. In fact, historically, it's never happened. The regulatory authority expects that they'll make about a 5% profit, not 5 times that. And we have to look at this, okay, is it predictable, I suppose? But in fact, premiums went up last year. Despite the notion that there were rebates, premiums went up by $198 million. And there have been approvals for increases in premiums, in fact, for this year. And we do know that for a quarter of 2021, we were also on lockdown. We know the workforce is changing, even when things have opened up, where people are working more from home. So I expect we'll be seeing similar types of profits for next year and the years to come. And if we look at the previous years, in fact, from 2017, 18, and 19, premiums went up by 20%. You look at that with the backdrop, in fact, of the reduced auto insurance product, particularly under the Wynne government. The product was reduced 17 times from 2010 to 2017, essentially eliminating much of the availability for medical rehabilitation. There's $3,500 for most injuries. Catastrophic claims were cut in half in terms of what you're entitled to. So I think looking at it from an overall policy standpoint, from the amount of claims that have been there for the product that is being bought, the profits that we're seeing are in fact expected. But given that we all have to have auto insurance, it's a tax, so to speak, I do think that there's some correction that's going to be needed for sure, Greg.
Now, you talked about how in the past that the Ontario government, because of the high rates in this province, have tried to go after the problem. Is there a policy response that actually makes a difference here for drivers?
I think what needs to be done is, first thing is more transparency in terms of reporting, because this is just the reporting that they provided. And we know there's things that can be sort of put as expenses that really wouldn't belong there, moved from year to year. So I think the requirement for transparency is going to be very important. And a real look at the auto insurance product in terms of, what's happening now is many benefits are being taken away and sold back to the consumer as an optional benefit. Well, if you want this coverage now, you go and buy this. A lot of people don't buy it, and they end up not having proper coverage if they're injured in an accident, for example. So I think a good look at how the product is actually prepared, how it's sold to consumers, and obviously a look at how the rates are arrived at. Because it's not so simple to say, oh, well, this region in Ontario has more accidents. The reality is Ontario per capita has less claims than the national average per capita. If you look at our population, we have the least in terms of fatalities if you look at our per capita, but we have one of the highest premium rates in the country. And now we see that there's record profits that help facilitate and fund the insurance industry throughout Canada itself.
And as over the years, one of the defenses I've heard put up by the insurance industry when it comes to high car insurance premiums is that there's a lot of fraud in the system. I live in Brampton, Ontario. I don't know if every city thinks it has the ignominious distinction of being the fraud capital, but I've heard and read reports that there's a lot in Brampton as well. Does that stand up at all when you do your research in terms of that being an expense that's hitting these companies hard?
Fraud needs to be stamped out. If it can be shown it's there, absolutely, it's not acceptable. But, it's easy to say, oh, there's fraud. Well, show us where, show us the expense. It's this catch-all phrase the insurance industry likes to use, but prove it. Prove what it costed. Has this decreased now? Has it increased? Prove it. They don't do that. They don't provide statistics. They don't provide proper accounting of what fraud costs. So it's very easy to say it and tweet it and use a public relations spin to push it when the reality may be quite different.
All right, so in terms of where prices might be headed, what are we expecting for 2022 as the economy starts to fully recover, more drivers get back on the road? I'm not anticipating a reduction in my insurance rates.
No, unfortunately. Think about it. If we didn't really get substantive reductions during the height of the pandemic, 2020, we're certainly not expected to see now. In fact, there have been rate increases approved. So I suspect we will see around the board rate increases for most people. They do insurance. Some insurance companies will tell you, well, okay, take your car off the road and just put fire and theft on it, and we'll give you a 75% reduction. Well, that was always available to people even before the pandemic, right? So, and it's really difficult to do that. Even if you're working from home, people have to go to the mall, they have to go shopping, they have to pick up their kids, they need their car. So I do think, unfortunately, we're still going to see rate increases until there's a proper accounting that comes from higher up. That, wait a minute, they should make money. There's no point in having a business if you don't make money. But 27.6% when it's supposed to be 5%, and this seems to be the trend that we're going to be seeing. I think this is unacceptable, and changes certainly need to be made.